Hi everyone, I'm Khairun Nisa. So today I will cover about the common experiments, and the last part will be possible misconception across the topics. So we have chosen theme 2 in the chemistry form 4 syllabus. For common experiments, there are two types of experiment that I have picked up, which are balanced chemical equation, and the second one is the properties of ionic and covalent bond. So let's see. For the general comment, the design of experiment is well designed. However, there were few things need to be fixed in this experiment. For the HOTS, higher order thinking skills encouragement, yes, they do encourage the higher order thinking skills, but it must be improved in such more meaningful way, which are to gain students' interest. Is it facilitates to integrate new knowledge? Yeah, because there were few facts included, and then there is a safety precaution which is relatable with our real life situation, as an reminder to avoid such bad things happens in laboratory. The first experiment is about the balanced chemical equation. The evidence that I've been studied in this experiment, obviously the aim is not relatable with the experiments conducted, because the experiment conducted is where the students are give some reactants, and then it will give such a specific products from the experiments. So it not help the student to understand the balanced chemical equation at all, and it obviously not relevant. It should be changed to identify the product or changes of the reactions for the chemicals used. Okay, yes, for the justification, supposedly the students need to be exposed to such activity that help them to get used to write a balanced chemical equation. So let's go to my recommendation. What we will gonna do to replace such experiments to make students for better understanding in balancing chemical equation. My recommendation would be by using this interactive media to gain the interest of the students in for them to get a better understanding in balancing the chemical equation. And it is also for better memorization, because students nowadays, they like things like colorful, fancy, you know. Okay, so that will help them for better memorization. Okay, through this practice they will gain understanding, and they could do better in examination. Alright. Okay, next, the second experiment is to study the properties of ionic and covalent bonding. I have gone through the experiment, and I found that the experiment consists of general knowledge, because it has stated there the effect of exposure towards naphthalene, and the experiments are relevant. Okay, except we'll go to the next slide. There are overall 3 types of different experiments to study the properties of ionic and covalent bonding. And also, my comments is the discussion part is too a few for students to analyze. It should be added like more questions, okay, for them to think, to analyze together in doing the lab report. So here is the same experiment that I found in internet, okay, but this lab experiment is from IGCSE chemistry syllabus year 11. it has been added another experiment to test the solubility of ionic and covalent compound in acetone. Okay, because for ionic compound, many of them are soluble in water, but in non-polar solvent like acetone, they are insoluble, and vice versa to the covalent compound. Okay, here is an edition of the recommendation where the compound used for each experiment should be the same. Therefore, students will be able to compare the solubility in water, solubility in acetone, and then their conductivity and the melting order in just one table. They don't need to refer to one table to another table to another table of a compound. So it is simpler for them to make as a reference later in future about the properties of the ionic and covalent compound used in the experiment. Okay, and moreover, the analysis for the discussion should be added few questions for them to think deeper and get a better understanding, okay, while doing their lab report. Okay, that's it. So this is also I get from the IGCSE level syllabus of chemistry year 11. Okay, so the first misconception is about the mole concept. Based on the articles that I have read, okay, mostly students are confused about the number of molecules and also the molar mass. Because of what? They think that the higher the molar mass of the substance, the higher the bigger the molecule they are. Okay, so this is absolutely incorrect, because okay, for example, I give 1 mole of Na2SO4 and also 1 mole of K2SO4. They think that K2SO4 has the bigger molecule since it has the higher molar mass, and Na2SO4, 1 mole of Na2SO4 has small molecule because it has the lower number of molar mass as compared to K2SO4. So this is wrong, because the 1 mole, okay, in front of the substance is to the coefficient is to represent the number of molecules present. Okay, while the molar mass is the actually it's termed as the mass over the number of mole. Number of mole is the amount of substances present in the compound. So it's the summing up of the 2 molecules of Na, S, and O4. It difference is totally different from the molecules. Okay, number of molecules is totally different from the molar mass. So that's the confusion that arises here, which is fall under conceptual understandings misconception. Okay, so that's the first one, and then we will go to the another misconception. Okay guys, so for the second misconception is focusing on the chemical bonding. So the first one is the misconception of ionic bonding is equal to the sharing of electrons. Is it true? No, right? It is the transferring of electrons. Okay, so here the article in Malaysia that I found, they conducted a study in a school of Form 4 student, among Form 4 student. Okay, and they found that there is a misconception where the student says the ionic bonding is a bond that consists of metal and non-metal, but it doesn't state whether transfer or sharing. Okay, And then the second one, the misconception, is ionic bonding is formed from the sharing of electron between atom, metal and non-metal. So the word sharing is already wrong, incorrect. And then so the main point here is the student mostly confused, okay, that ionic bonding is either consists of sharing of electron or transferring of electron. So there is another supporting evidence from the Indonesian articles. They also have conducted study in their secondary school student, SMR, okay, and the student believed that ionic bonding was a sharing of electron, okay, and this misconception also consistent with other researchers that have been investigated these things before, okay. And another articles that I found as a supporting evidence is from Turkey, the Middle East Technical University, where they conducted among the students in Ankara, Turkey. It also stated that researchers has found a misconception. Then the second one, where the second point, where the ionic bonding occurs by sharing of electrons. Okay, so basically ionic bonding, the full meaning is it is a chemical bond which form from the transferring of electron from the metal atom to the non-metal atom. So that's the full term for the full definition for the term of ionic bond. Okay, so that's it. So we'll proceed to the next one, which is metallic bonds versus ionic compound. So thank you. For the last misconception, it's about the metallic bonding versus ionic compound. So I will focus first on the metallic bonding, where the students said metallic bonding consists of the transfer of electrons. Actually, it's not the transfer of electrons. The transfer of electrons is called as ionic bond. Okay, while metallic bonds, it consists of only metals and alloys. While for ionic compound, for ionic bond that have the transfer of electron, consists of non-metal, the transfers of non-metal and metals. Okay, but for metallic bond consists of only metals. Okay, and it is the condition where it is an electrostatic attraction between the positive ions and the delocalized electron. Okay, and then they will form together and form this is the model of C electron C model. Okay, where the positive ion, the cation, is closely packed, surrounded by the delocalized electron. So this shows the metals and alloys' ability to conduct heat and electricity. So there is no transfer of electrons. Okay, that's the ionic bond. Okay, so based on the articles, it's considered under the preconceived notions because it's stated there the teacher is focusing more on the covalent compound as compared to the ionic covalent bond as compared to the ionic bond. So the student just make their own assumption. Okay, so there is fall under preconceived notions. Okay, then we go to the ionic compound. They said that hydrochloric acid is an ionic compound. Is it an ionic compound, guys? Is it HCl is an ionic compound? No, HCl is a covalent compound. Because of what? Okay, so HCl have how many electrons? 1. 1. Cl. The valence electron is 7. Okay, so 1 needs how many more? Another 1 to reach the duplex structure. So D7 needs another 1 also to reach the octet structure. Okay, so this is H. This is the electron. Okay, plus the chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they include the transfer of all the sharing. Of course, the sharing, right? If they transfer, what will they gonna transfer? H only have 1, and then this lack of 1 electron. Okay, so they need to share. So it is fall under covalent bonding. Okay, so it will form like this. HCl. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 8. This one F2. So this is the Lewis structure of the hydrochloric acid. So it falls under covalent bond, not an ionic bond. Okay, so that's all from me. Okay, which is mean the end of the presentation for today. So I'm the one who will end the part. Okay, so I will bring up to a conclusion. Okay, where I think that's all from me, and then we will move to the discussion on Google Meet. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating. Okay, goodbye. Thank you. Stay safe.